seemingly overnight success of Lethal Company did not come from no source at all. It is in early access right now. It is the brainchild of one solo developer, Zeekerss, and as someone who is addicted to the game right now, I wanted to go over some of the reasons that I truly believe that it succeeds so much as a game and why it's captivating so many people in an endless genre of carbon copies, indie horror games, and everyone trying to barge in for streamers and YouTubers to react to and play them. To stand at the top of the corpse pile, you have to have something that is unique, something that is special, something that doesn't necessarily have to be groundbreaking, but puts your game in a position and puts your franchise in a position to attract people to it and have a lot of replayability, or at least some sort of shock factor that gets word of mouth buzzing and makes it become a popularity contest and a bandwagon sort of contest where everyone has FOMO if they're not participating in the acclaim and hype of your game. And naturally, like a snowball effect, when something spirals out of control and becomes increasingly more popular, it's going to draw more people to it. This is exactly what's been happening with Lethal Company. It was released for early access back in late October, and ever since then it has been on this upward trajectory where it seems like every single day there is more content about it, more people talking about it, and the internet is in a frenzy, rightfully so in my opinion. The basic premise of Lethal Company, if you are wanting to test it or you're wanting to know what to expect going into it, is you work for the company, the elusive company. And I will say that there is lore for this game found out through logs and other sort of offsite sort of stuff, but for the most part it has a very mysterious aura to it. But the general premise of it is you explore a variety of different moons trying to collect scrap to meet a certain quota of money making. You have to make a certain amount of profit on these abandoned moons of a variety kind, and you travel through these very hyper-realistic environments with gorgeous lighting, great sound design. I can't really praise that enough. Each quota goes up and you have to go back to this facility to pay with all of the items that you collect in these facilities. Each little round consists of a 3-day period that you play out in live time, and you can freely choose how long you spend in each day as long as you make sure to reach the quota by the end of that 3-day period. Every single time that you touch down on a moon, you get a randomly generated seed, and that randomly generated seed is going to make a variety of different scrap materials appear in different locations, as well as completely roll the dice on what sort of monsters you are going to encounter. It's sort of like a roguelike game in a way. You are traveling through these labyrinth facilities and you are trying to avoid different things that are trying to kill you while carrying this scrap, carrying flashlights, walkie-talkies, whatever you buy. It has a really nice in-game store where you use your coins and your money to buy things that will help you, all while traveling the outskirts of these environments as well. Outside of the facilities, you can run into a variety of different creatures. It functions on a hazard ranking, and that basically indicates the type of dangers you are going to have and how likely you are to die. And every single time you have a moon, there will be a specific weather condition associated with it. It can be arid, it can be a thunderstorm, it can be foggy, it can be flooding where it progressively throughout the day gets higher and higher until you literally drown if you're not back in time. It might sound complicated, but in practice, it really did not take me long to get the gist of it, and it is insanely addictive. Which gets me into why I think Lethal Company has succeeded so much, and it blows my mind that just one single mind was able to mastermind this entire project. The replayability and the exhilarating adrenaline that you feel is rarely captivated by a lot of games, and a game that I have always been really obsessed with is Phasmophobia, and you can draw a lot of comparisons between the two, considering Phasmophobia blew up around the Halloween season thanks to YouTubers and Twitch streamers streaming it and talking about it, playing it with friends, and around the Halloween season, it blew up. It may have not just been developed by one person, but it was a very small group of individuals that created it together, so it was an indie project that didn't have a huge amount of a budget or a company behind it. And I guess such a similar feeling from early Phasmophobia that I do Lethal Company. It has that feeling of the unknown. When you first discover a game and it captivates you and intoxicates you and scares you genuinely with the fear of the unknown, and even though there is a pretty limited pool of things that you can run into into. It's the strategy that you have to employ, it's the tacticalness that you have to employ, and it's how you have to blend the risk and the reward of playing really hard and playing strategically and knowing when to back out, but constantly having this hanging thundercloud over your head of this quota that you have to meet. It's downright brilliant game design because it's so replayable. The seed generation and how everything is so randomized will always keep you guessing, and you might get a really easy map that is easy on you, that you get lucky with the scrap you find and the things you run into, and then the next day you might have a literal hellscape nightmare just trying to survive around every single corner. The game does not hold your hand, it does not really warn you, and you have to be very smart with how you listen to sound cues, how you pay attention to your surroundings. I have not played this game solo, and I really don't think that people should, because I think by nature this is one of those games that is so much better when you are playing it with someone. When you are playing it with a group of people or a friend, you can see so many funny moment compilations, and that really is where this game shines. And it's one of those rare instances where a game is simultaneously so serious and so murky and macabre and creepy, eerie, but it is also unintentionally funny and can make for some extremely fun moments to have with friends.
It was. Wasn't even worried for a second. I don't care. The vibes are too strong.
Not knowing if your friend is dead or alive, having them fall off a fucking edge into a bottomless pit, seeing them get murked by some monster that you saw coming from a mile away, getting swallowed by an earth leviathan while you're walking back to the ship. It just is funny at times. It takes such a noticeably obvious blend of influences, throws them all into the witch's cauldron, and like some bastardization amalgamation, it comes out the other side, reeking of all of these influences in the best way possible, taking all of the perfect traits from these fantastic genres and putting them together in this indie experience that feels raw, that feels primitive, and we are in this stage of it where we're still getting to know it. We don't know all of it. We're not pros yet, and that is something special. When a product is taking over the gaming world and industry in such a tremendously noticeable way, but it is providing this newfound experience, it's going to be once in a lifetime, because once people work out all the kinks and it starts to get developed more and it builds that momentum, some of that shine, some of that ray is going to wear away. But I think that right now the reason Lethal Company succeeds so much as a game is its perfect blending of styles, its perfect borrowing of influences, not trying to reinvent the wheel or redesign anything or reconstruct anything, but cleverly and tactfully taking all of these different influences and putting them together in a way that feels fresh, that feels unique, that feels special to it, and providing this adrenaline-inducing experience that is so exhilarating to play with friends or even by yourself if you want to, with absolutely gorgeous imagery, amazing sound design that I cannot stress enough, environments that pop so incredibly well with this lifelike vibrancy and creepiness to them. Everything about this game breathes excellency and power and shows how to make a proper indie horror game that captivates people. This game's very much worth your time, and it's something that I really suggest getting on the train of while it's early, because if this is early access and this is what the game is like in its infancy, that is incredible, and it says a lot and speaks volumes to the quality of it, the high quality of it, because this feels like a fully fledged game with a lot of content to go around, and it's currently only $10 right now, so definitely check it out if you haven't. But if you have played Lethal Company, what are your opinions of it? Let me know down in the comment section below. I can't wait to hear it. Be sure to let me know what you thought of this video as well. Drop a like, comment, and subscribe. I would really appreciate it to join the review family today. But until then, I'll talk to you guys next time. My name is Jay Morris, and I'm signing off saying farewell.